Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make is a coconut milk cake. This particular cake comes out light and fluffy and moist, and well, if you like coconut, you will like this cake. You really will. And it's relatively pretty easy to make, and I like easy recipes. Now, I started the recipe a little ahead of time to save some time during the video, but I want to explain what I've done so far. What I've done was I took 4 eggs that were at room temperature, and I beat them on medium-high for 4 minutes. You want them to be very light and very fluffy, and do spend that 4 minutes. It'll go quicker than you think. Now, after that 4 minute is passed, then what you start beating in is 2 cups of granulated sugar, just a little at a time. And you're going to beat that for 4 to 5 minutes, and you'll want to beat it that long. Now, I have that mixture in my mixer bowl right now, and I want to show you what it looks like. Once you put the sugar in, and I hope you're able to see that, once you beat the 2 cups of sugar in it, it will get very thick and very fluffy. So that's exactly what I did. Again, just to repeat quickly, I beat 4 eggs at room temperature for 4 minutes. Then I started to slowly add 2 cups of granulated sugar to the beaten eggs, and I beat that for 5 minutes, about 4 to 5 minutes, but I usually do 5. And then you'll have this mixture, this light, fluffy mixture, as you can see coming from my spatula, what I have right now in my mixing bowl, okay? So I'm just going to put that on super low. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is flour. And what you're going to be needing in the flour is 2 cups of flour. In the flour, you're also going to be putting 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder into your flour. You're going to be putting in 1/4 teaspoon of salt in your dry ingredients, okay? And then I'm just going to take my spoon and just stir it in a little bit here. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to slowly start putting this into the wet mixture, and you don't have to have it on high, but just put a little at a time, and you just want to beat it on low till it's all combined. I'm going to raise my speed just a little bit, and I won't talk while the mixer is running. Okay, now you do that just till it's combined, so then you have what really is like a thick batter, okay? Just till it's combined. Okay, now the next thing that you'll want to do, you can do it in a pan, but I find it a lot easier and quicker in a microwave. In the mug, I put 1/4 cup of butter, and I put 1 cup of coconut milk, okay? And I put it in my microwave for about 1.5 minutes, just till the butter melted, okay? And then I stirred it. So in this, again, I have 1/4 cup of butter that's been melted with 1 cup of coconut milk. Now, before I put that in, I'm going to put vanilla in, and that's 1.5 teaspoons, and then I'm just going to beat that in. Now I'll start slowly pouring the coconut milk and butter, and you'll want to do it on low, otherwise it's going to go all over the kitchen. And I'm just going to bring my sides in a little bit here of the mixture that's sticking. Okay, and now I'm going to just beat it on low till it's combined. Take very long at all. You just want to beat it on low till everything comes together. Now, at this point, the batter might seem to you a little bit too thin, but it's going to be just fine. Not to worry. I just want to make sure that everything is combined in the bottom of my mixing bowl. Now I'm going to show you the batter so you can get a little idea of its thickness. So don't panic if right away you think, oh, there was too much butter, oh, there was too much coconut milk in it. This is how it's supposed to turn out, okay? Now you're going to need 2 8-inch round or 2-inch 9 round, whatever you have. I greased them with solid shortening and I dusted them with flour. And then I'm just going to pour that into my pan, the batter into my pan, and I want to try to make sure that I put the same amount in, of course, so that they're equal. Let's get the rest of this out. Now you're going to preheat your oven at 350 degrees. And it's going to take you anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes to bake this cake up. But do start checking it. I like to check mine about 20 minutes just to make sure everything is okay. Because we do realize that all our ovens set up so differently, okay? Now you'll want to get up at every drop of this because it's such a great tasting cake. Now on your coconut milk, you can buy that at your specialty stores or your grocery stores. It's relatively not too difficult to find coconut milk. I like to use the canned coconut milk. Now I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to rinse my hands. And I want to show you basically the batter. Oh, and I like to tap my pans just a little bit for the bubbles before I put them in the oven. Now remember, when they come out, put them on a cooling rack and test it with a toothpick or your cake tester till the tester comes out dry. But anyway, I cut the tops off of the cake that has baked, but I wanted you in particularly to see the top. It's going to have almost I don't want to say crunchy, but such a light, crisp top to it. But then the cake itself, and I thought this was probably a better way for you to be able to see it, is to see the crumb, how very light and delicate that it's coming away with the fork. My family members actually love eating this part of the top of the cake. But it's so moist and you can smell that coconut milk. It's such a great tasting cake. Now I want to show you what it looks like once it's baked up. Now here it is. What I like to do with this cake is I do make a coconut milk buttercream frosting for it that I am going to have a separate video on that. And then what I did was I took caramel morsels and I put them all on the sides of the cake, and then I melted milk chocolate on the top of it. So you have caramel, you have coconut, and then you have chocolate. This makes for one delicious cake. If you don't even want to put frosting on it, this cake is so good. You can put powdered sugar on it or put jam in between for the filling. It's just a fantastic cake. However you dress it up, as far as putting an icing or a frosting or just eating it plain, I think you're going to like this cake. If you try this cake and you make this recipe and you like it, well, leave a comment, because I always like to hear from you. And as you can see, it really does bake up to a nice tall finish to it. And then with the melted chocolate on top, it's just a crowd pleaser. I get so many compliments when I make this cake. Well, that's it for me today. I am going to put the coconut milk buttercream frosting on and then refer to this cake also. But I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake. Please subscribe to my channel, and just as a reminder, you'll only find my videos on YouTube. Well, that's it for me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.